Doobie-doo-doo. Yes, we've got some new music today. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I know that. I know that. And after last night, listening to one of our very own listeners and his singing ability, how could I possibly find a tune that would be apt for today? Big shout out to my good friend MacGyver, or as he's otherwise known in the real world as Alan McVicker. Check out Alan McVicker here on YouTube. Boy, oh boy, did we find some talent last night after the show. But it's a new day, a new dawn, a new KBS day is upon us. And I have got some really, really creepy, disturbing news for anyone out there who, like me, has a distinct fear of dolls. Yes, be careful when you go down to the woods today, folks. Trust me. And if you thought the island of dolls was creepy, whoa, this takes it to new levels. But before we get anywhere, I see today's co-host, the man that will be riding shotgun on KBS today. Jimmy Jeans is in the chat room. If you do me one favour today, if you would like to do me one favour, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know, maybe you hate my guts. Maybe you're just here to see me fail. I don't know. But if you do want to do me one big turn today, head on over and subscribe to Jimmy Jeans' YouTube channel. I get pissed off watching Jimmy's channel. Not because of Jimmy, but because there's only maybe a handful of people there at times. Maybe 20. Jimmy is knocking out some prolific content. And he's our Jimmy Jeans. He's a bit mad, which we all like here. So please, please, please head on over there and subscribe to Jimmy. And last night, I seen he was live. Oh, it was cringe material. It was cringe. It's the worst show I've ever heard Jimmy doing. Do you know why? Because they had this absolute asshat called Dave Baker speaking to Billy Ray Valentine. Now, Billy Ray Valentine's good, but Dave Baker, you don't let him on a show. But anywho, I'm going to come into the chat room now. We've got the Bearded Traveller. We've got Malaya. And Malaya, I am so sorry to hear about what happened with Algo in the video last night, but that's why we keep it nice and woo and very milk toast and fun over here on KBS, because you can barely talk about anything, right? So make sure Algo knows I'm asking for him. We got the Cine Monk in there, and the Cine Monk, that is going to be a channel that we're going to have to subscribe to soon as well. Get it done now. Go and subscribe. He was asking me about using Streamlabs, going onto YouTube, so another one taking up the challenge. I like to hear it. Good luck to you, Cine Monk. We got Shawnee in there as well. Good to see you, Shawnee. Bearded, Jimmy. ZX, how you doing, man? John Nelson, good to see you. Scrolling up here now. Polynation, how you doing, brother? Polynation as well, another music channel for you to go and subscribe to. And I need to go and check Polynation's channel out at some point, because I know he was making music. I know he was going to send through music, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible. You should all know by now on Disco, I'm the worst user of my own Discord server. I truly, truly am. I really need to get better at using that, because there's so much content in there. And I've barely even scratched the surface of what you people have sourced. So I'll get to that, Polly. We've also got Armand, another channel you need to subscribe to. Our good friend Carol is in there as well. Jose Ramon Francis, good to see you. Saint Marionette, the Wookie, Surfer Girl, and I think we're at the top. First Paranormal, brother. Jason, we need to do a show again soon, man. You need to come and hang out on a Freaky Friday, one of these weekends that you aren't away doing your intrepid exploring gig that you get up to nowadays, right? So I've got my coffee here. Well, I've got half a cup of coffee here. It'll keep me going for the show. Maybe towards the end, I might pull Jimmy in, since he's going to be coming on to the main show anyway. Today, we're going to be getting into some ancient woo on the main show. We're going to be continuing the series of ancient mystery history shows myself and Jimmy have been doing. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll tell you what a sleep I got last night. What a sleep. I think I must have had on and off about 16 hours sleep yesterday into today. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Some days I get 2 hours sleep. Another day I get 16 hours sleep. I hope all of you out there have got a far better a far better sleep pattern than I have. Okay, now a message from Cine Monk. Do not go and follow that channel because they're going to be creating a new channel. And if you're in Disco, you'll be able to find out all about that. So I'm just going to give this a quick share over onto Twitter. Share it out over there. Nothing too serious today, folks. You know that. It's just basically the pre-show where we can gather together, spend some time together. I can come into the chat room. We can chill out. We can goof off. And we can look at some really creepy stuff. Now, I don't know where my fear of dolls comes from. I really don't know where it comes from. And I only really became aware of it when my mum had pulled out this crazy doll that she's got from her childhood and was passed down to her. So this thing's ancient. This thing's ancient. It's got all the cracked paint on it. And oh, holy shimoly. So I don't know why it is I'm scared of dolls. But there's a lot of people that seem to be scared of little innocuous inanimate objects that are playthings. What's that all about? And then you take these dolls and you put them into different environments, different scenarios. Some of them can take the edge off the creepiness, you know, but other times you see these dolls and you just don't know what to make of it. It goes beyond the woo. And one lady down in England, when she went down to the woods today, oh boy, was she in for a big surprise. The Island of Dolls, have you heard of that? Well, we ain't going there today. No, it's a lot closer to home for me. In fact, it's disturbingly close to home. It might be in England across the border, but down in Cannock Chase, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody is up to no good. How do I know this? Well, I tell you what. Take a look at this, shall we? Okay, we'll take a look at that when I bring it onto the screen. That would help. Yes. Dauber Baker. Dave's in charge today, folks. Dave's in charge. There we go. Let me get this fitting the screen. There you go. See, Cine Monk? I might make it look like I know what I'm doing, but from time to time, even I get lost, you see? So, here we go. Now then, I'm going to play this little video first. The headline is, watch. Eerie baby dolls found nailed to trees in Cannock Chase. So we're going to take a little look at the video. Now I'm going to ask you in the audience, what do you think the purpose of this is? What do you think is going on here? Check this out. And I don't think that music we had on would be very apt for creepy dolls, but take a look at this. What's going on here, folks? What is going on? Is this some kind of like hoodoo, voodoo, moodoo type stuff? I am, if that was me, I wouldn't even have stayed to take video. I'd be gone. I'd be absolutely gone. So before we get into the story, let me see what the chat room are saying. What do you think? Maybe there's an actual reason why some groups do this that I'm unaware of, but what's this all about? Donnie says voodoo, hoodoo, voodoo magic. Well, he says voodoo magic, but I added the rest. Yeah, Queen, what do you make of this? Queen Goddess, good to see you. Lewis, good to see you. Dead GPK, go and subscribe to Dead's channel. He is very much alive. And he does a lot of the sky watching out there. I used to be a keen skywalker. Shawnee says, I was in Cannock Chase when they won the World Cup. But only 2 at the time, so memory was sketchy. Big time, Shawnee. Oh, England winning the World Cup, 66. Dang, dude. I haven't heard all that for a while. It's because next time the World Cup comes up, it's all we'll talk about again, right? 66, this. Okay, so Arman says it's the plastic Sasquatch nailing some sense into the plastic. I like it. Goddess, that is creepy. Very creepy. Jason, when you've been out on your travels, have you come across anything disturbing, out of the ordinary, like what we're looking at here? It could be witches trying to ward off people. Great shout, Queen. Great shout, because I think there has to be some purpose in the mind of whoever's done this, right? Uh, Admittedly, it could just be a whack ball. It could just be a crazy dude, or a crazy dudette, or a crazy day, depending on what they identify that day. Now, Cinny said, my father used to always say he wanted to nail dolls to trees in random spots. Should I be concerned? Cinny I would like to have met your dad, your stepdad, because I think this could be a really good way to really prank people. And then people like me come along and we go, oh, all freaked out. And I bet you the person who done this, they're probably sitting waiting to see who's going to cover it on YouTube. And they're going, look at that asshat up in Glasgow, thinking there's more to this. So it says, what are they betting? What are they betting? They have small holes in them. Ah, for air rifle practice. Okay, that's a good shout. Dead says the sun is shining today. Things are on the upturn. Well, we're almost coming to the end of winter, right? 21st of March, end of winter. Doesn't look like it out there. Doesn't feel like it. Okay, now Queen's taking us deeper into it. Queen says if someone touches one, it activates the spell or curse. Buzz, good to see you, Buzz. Someone trying to make a real Valley of the Dolls without watching the film first. Polly says, I think those dolls are bad for the environment. Whoever did that should be charged with littering. Polly, in England, in Scotland, in the UK, you're probably right, dude, that the environmental police will be on the way around to whoever done this. So Donnie says it's for protection. Let's have a little read of the story then, see what it says. A spooked walker has made a very unsettling discovery while exploring Cannock Chase. The trekker, who is a theatre practitioner at Walsall Manor Hospital, uncovered an assortment of creepy dolls when she was walking over the Chase last Thursday, and that was January the 28th. So the 64-year-old waded her way through the undergrowth and discovered a clearing where a number of trees stood with the dolls nailed and tied to them. Speaking to Black Country Live, and for anyone outside the UK, that's what you call the Midlands, it's the Black Country. The mum of two said, I've had to shield for all of the lockdown, but when I was on my walks, I looked a bit further, and as I dug through the undergrowth, I saw the dolls. Oh, they were in some sort of order. Their dresses were all ragged, and they were all tied up and nailed to the trees. As I came out of the woods, I saw a sign that said that this was the operating theatre for the Old Pensions Hospital. It was just a bit weird considering what I do for my job. Now, I'm looking at this ZX, and I'm not seeing any holes like you suggested, and I like that. I actually like that for a theory, an idea as to what was going on here. Let's scroll down then. I have a friend who is a spiritual medium, and she wants to go up and take a look there, or take a look up there, to see if she can feel anything. Oh, look at that one. Oh my God. She later went back to the site to check the dolls again. She said, it wasn't that scary, and I stood in amongst the dolls. I was saying my prayers. Wasn't that scary, but she decided it would be good to say a prayer anyway. I like this. Protect yourself. Protection, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I talked to the dolls and wished the children who used to live in the mining village eternal rest. History on the site shows an old war hospital was built on Brindley Heath, where the dolls were discovered. Now, Jason, I just got a message from you. I'll check that in a moment, brother. I'll check it in a moment. The walker also discovered signs revealing that the area was once the Ministry Pensions Hospital, which closed in the late 1920s. Now, after this, the buildings were acquired by the colliery to house miners along with their families. The site was then known as Brindley Village and had a school and working men's club. The village lasted until the early 1950s, and then residents were moved to a new council housing estate on the outskirts of Hednesford. Look at that bad boy. Okay, so I'm going to come back into the Skype here. Okay, whoa. All right, Jason, what have you given me here, man? Dang, dude. Wait, you see this one, folks. This is a disturbing doll, if ever I've seen one. Holy shamoly, man. Okay. Okay. So, I'm thinking that Jason must have found this in one of his urban exploration type gigs. Holy crap, that is terrifying. Is there anyone else out there that shares a fear? Shares a fear of dolls? What's it even called? Is there a name for it? There's bound to be a name for it, right? Fear of dolls. Phobia. Yes, there is. Oh. Wow. Now, I don't even know if I can say this word on the show without the algorithm thinking I'm saying something else. Okay, I'm going to show it on the screen. The name of being scared of dolls, okay? Let's see, hang on now. There we go. There's the fear of dolls. That's what it's called. Now you can see why I was a bit reluctant to say the name of it. Because with my accent and my speech impediment, that's probably going to sound like a really bad word to the algorithm, and they're going to kick me off of here. But yes, there is a name for it. There is a name for it. Now, if I scroll down this article here, let's see where it all stems from. It says, if you've ever seen the horror movie with a doll named Chucky, you've probably never looked at dolls the same way again. Now, that's Pazuzu. Oh, says Arman. Now, Pazuzu. Isn't Pazuzu the alleged ghost that's in The Exorcist? Or is it the Poltergeist, Armand? Which one? I think that's meant to be Pazuzu. I think it's The Exorcist, isn't it? But we'll have a look at Pazuzu in a moment, right? It says, while dolls can feel creepy for those who watch horror films like this, most people don't worry that a doll is actually going to harm them. However, a few people have an intense and irrational fear of dolls. The fear is called, a really bad P word, can be triggered by popular culture, horror movies, or another traumatic event loosely related to dolls. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Pediophobia, if I say it fast enough, maybe we'll be all right, is a type of phobia known as a specific phobia, an irrational fear of something that poses no actual threat. Specific phobias affect more than 9% of adults in the United States. Thinking about or seeing a doll can cause severe anxiety symptoms to somebody with this condition, even if they know the fear is irrational. Phobias are part of an anxiety disorder. For people with the P word, seeing or thinking about dolls can cause anxiety that is so intense they may become frozen with fear. Well, I can happily tell you, now that thing there is just terrifying. I can happily tell you that I don't get that bad. I don't think I'm that bad. Let's see what Armand, yeah, the first Exorcist was that? I think it was, wasn't it? Anyway, we'll take a look at Pazuzu. That's what we'll do. We'll have a little look at Pazuzu here. Right, I'll bring it up again. Blah, 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 blah. This doll of yours, Jason, is disturbing me, man. It's disturbing me. Big time. In fact, where is it? We'll put it on here just to disturb me even more. There you go. There you go. I share the stage with that thing. That's a thing. That is definitely a thing. Pazuzu. There we go. Yep, and it's got the Pazuzu, the Exorcist. It was the Exorcist then. So if we come over here, folks. In ancient Mesopotamian religion, Pazuzu was the king of the demons of the wind, brother of Humbaba, and son of the god Hanbi. He was represented he also represented the southwestern wind, the bearer of storms and drought. Is there a sense of the spirit of Pazuzu right now with some of these ice storms and winter storms that are affecting everyone? Probably not, but it's good woo. So Pazuzu is often depicted as combining or as a combination of diverse animal and human parts. Oh boy, a chimera. Oh. He is the body of a man, the head of a lion or a dog, talons of an eagle, 2 pairs of wings, a scorpion's tail, and a serpentine's pee-pee? He was right hand up and left hand down. Ah, yes, indeedy. So Pazuzu is the demon of the southwest wind, known for bringing famine during dry seasons and locusts during rainy seasons. Pazuzu was invoked in Apot Rapayak, in certain amulets, folks, okay, which combat the powers of his rival, the malicious goddess Lamushtu, who was believed to cause harm to mother and child during childbirth. Wow. Now, although Pazuzu is himself considered to be an evil spirit, he drives and frightens away other evil spirits, therefore protecting humans against plagues and misfortunes. Well, that just sounds like he's a greedy demon. It sounds like he wants to be all demonic to people all on his own, and he doesn't want any of these other demons stepping on his probably cloven feet. That should be added. Do you not think you should have cloven feet? They look cloven to me, anyway. So, in 1971, The Exorcist, and the film based on the novel, Pazuzu is supposedly the evil spirit that possesses the young girl Regan McNeil. He appeared in the 1977 sequel, Exorcist II, The Heretic. Now, does that mean they literally got the demon himself? Like, it sounds like he actually literally manifested and appeared in the sequel, but I don't think that really happened. In this film, Pazuzu is both named as the demon antagonist of Regan and the unwitting helper of Father Philip Lamont as he seeks to free Regan from the demon's grip. Brrr. Now, Pazuzu is also mentioned in the Simon Necronomicon, a publication of Avon Books that purports to document incantations to invoke incredible things, beings, and monsters into visible form. He is described therein as the Lord of all fevers and plagues, grinning, dark angel of the 4 wings, horned with rotting genitalia? Damn! And as the brother of Hamwawa, the book claims that he is among the most fearsome of all entities, stating in part, quote, "It is the able magician indeed who can remove Pazuzu once he has laid hold of a man, for Pazuzu lays hold unto death." Although the book makes the claim that Pazuzu, like all entities listed therein, was of Sumerian origin, critics John Wisdom Gauntz III and Daniel Harms document the enormous nature of such a claim, stating, likewise, the demon Pazuzu did not appear in myth until Azariah's rise in the first millennium BC, long after Sumer's prime. Thus, the beings of the Simon Necronomicon bear little resemblance to either Sumerian myth or Lovecraftian fiction. Oh, look at that bit of Cthulhu going on there, folks. Bit of Cthulhu. Can't be a bit of Cthulhu. So what's the chat room saying? Yes, exactly, Queen Goddess. What kind of doll is that? Now, Jason says, my mum has over 100 porcelain dolls, and apparently they will be mine. Oh, has she ever had them valued, dude? And I'm not being funny, but some of these, like, if it's made in Germany and if it's of a certain age, there's people out there will pay an absolute small fortune for these things. Believe it or not, on the opposite side, on the flip side of people like me that are scared of dolls, there's people that bloody collect them. They can't get enough of them. Grown adults living in homes where it's just dolls everywhere. Now tell me that isn't creepy. You know, come on, guys, think about this one, right? You're out at the pub, you know, you're my age, you're middle-aged, you get a lumber for the night, you go home with this middle-aged woman, and you walk into her home, and imagine it, if it's just wall to wall with little creepy dolls looking at you. I guarantee you make your excuses, right? Oh, is that the time? Out of there, quick as, right? That's my top tip for the day, folks. Don't loiter around houses that have too many dolls in them. What else are people saying? I've seen channels who buy supposedly haunted doll objects. Not a smart move, in my opinion. Absolutely agree with you there, Jason. But at the same time, if these people are, and I'm going to use the word, I'm actually going to use the word, if these people are gullible enough to go and buy something online just because it says it's haunted, they think it's haunted, well, hey, a fool's easily parted with her money, right? I remember covering that story about the Dybbuk box that wasn't from Boleskine. It just wasn't from Boleskine, folks. The whole story falls down. It doesn't make sense to anyone who's been in the house and seen the damage that was done to the house. But that dude, I don't know how much he spent on that box. And all because somebody told them it was haunted. Now, does that mean that everything you buy online off eBay that claims to be haunted is fake? Nope, absolutely not. I would imagine, like we covered last night on the show, on occasion you get something like the real Dybbuk box going on there. Because people just want to get rid of something. Look how eager that woman was to get rid of that Dybbuk box when the guy bought it at the yard sale. So yeah, Jason, I don't get it. I don't get these people that go out tempting fate. And you know, say they do get one of these dolls that is haunted, or one of these boxes that is haunted. I bet you they're going to be the first person that comes crying onto the internet about how they've got problems with a haunting. Well, maybe you shouldn't be buying stuff that claims to be haunted in the first place. I don't know. Just using a little bit of logic there, you know. Don't come crying to me and don't come looking for the services of Bill Bean when you openly invite it and actually pay money to get yourself haunted and spooked. If you want to go that far to bring evil or Ooga Boogas or Pazuzu into your house, hey, don't let me stand in the way of you. But at the same time, don't come crying to me when it all goes wrong either. Okay, you knowingly bought a haunted doll or a haunted box, and now you're acting all surprised when things go wrong? Be careful what you wish for, folks, and be even more careful what you part with your money for. There you go. Avoid dolls at all costs, says Cinny Monk. Yes. Run away, run away. Exactly. I'm not a cat, says the doll. Ooh, dead GPK. What does GPK stand for, dude? You got to tell me that. I've been wondering that. It's like if somebody burned toast, it leaves a smell. Boo. Ooga booga. What else are you saying in the chat room, folks? We should have had some creepy music on for this stream, because this is a creepy one, right? We'll take a little look at the actual island of dolls now, okay? Island of Dolls. Very, very infamous place. I've covered this on the show a couple of times. The Island of Dolls, or La Isla de las Menucas, probably butchered that, eh? Located in the channels of Jecomilco, somewhere in Mexico City, folks. Very close to the Estadio Azteca. Now, I know that because it's football, right? And there's a chinampa of the Laguna de Texulo. And one of the main attractions of the channels, dolls of various styles and colours, are found throughout the island, originally placed by the former owner of the island, Don Julian Santana Barrera. Now, Julian believed that the dolls helped to chase away the spirit of a girl who passed there years before. And Julian passed in 2001 of a heart attack, and sources say he was close to the spot where the same girl drowned. Ooh. So the Island of Dolls, originally owned by Don Julian Santana Barrera. He sounds like he'd have been a brilliant footballer. Bit of a mouthful, but brilliant footballer. It's full of dolls hanging from trees and buildings covered with cobwebs and insects. The place was named during the 1950s when the owner began to hang them as protection against evil spirits. Julian was a neighbour of the Barrio de la Asuncion, where he used to go to drink pulque after having sold his vegetables, until, due to superstition, he began to preach the Bible, being expelled from the sector. Now, according to legend, a young girl passed and she drowned entangled among the lilies of the canal, and her body was found on the banks of the Santampa Chinampis. Don Julian began to experience inexplicable situations. So, terrified, placed dolls that he found in the garbage or in the canals of Cuamenco with the idea that it would scare the soul of the young girl who would cry out, "I want my doll." Oh, he also found a doll floating nearby, assuming it belonged to the girl, and hung it from a tree as a mark of respect. In 1987, an eco-tourist rescue was made, and the island was found covered with water lily. An eco-tourist rescue was made. What's an eco-tourist? Ecotourism is catering for tourists with which to experience the natural environment without damaging it or disturbing habitats. Okay. Learn something new every day, folks. Since then, and after the death of Don Julian, the Chinampa became a place of great tourist affluence. The place gained fame after 1943 when Mexican filmmaker Emilio Fernandez filmed Maria Candelaria, and with Dolores de Rio and Pedro Babala as protagonists. A significant number of international and local channels have featured articles on the island, including the HuffPost, Travel Channel, blah blah blah. The dolls on the island, which is accessible by boat, or the dolls are still on the island. The island was featured on the Travel Channel show, Ghost Adventures, and Amazon Prime show, Lore. Well, I've not seen that one. It was also featured in BuzzFeed Unsolved. Yep, so there you go. Let's see what pictures we've got. Yeah, that's got the same creep factor as this place, doesn't it? Maybe more. Maybe even more. There's a koala. Is that a koala? Or is it a drop bear? Remember that? Remember that show, folks? Do you remember that show? Come on, you must remember that show. Where are we? Wow. And again, I suppose one old doll's going to look like another old doll, right? They're all going to have a certain look about them. Jason's. Oh, that one there's the worst. That looks like if you watched it long enough, there would be beasties and grollikins and all sorts of things crawling out of it. My goodness, man. Did you find that on a paranormal investigation? Because if you did, I'd have absolutely crapped myself. It looks like it's real hair as well. Oh, it's disturbing, man. Somebody's poked its eyes out. What's that all about? I am going to get a drink of my coffee because I'm feeling really uncomfortable right now. Well, I'm not really, but I'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. See, we'll put on some happy music. Yeah, Jason's just telling us there. Yep, he found it at the Woodland Fort and it gave him a shock. I'm not surprised, brother. I am not surprised. still there. Holy shamoly, get rid of that doll. Jason, I almost gave myself a fright there. What's that all about, dude? But that's okay, because we've got more to look at before we leave today. We've got one more story. I haven't read it yet. But it was just last week. Maybe over a week or so, maybe a couple of Freaky Fridays ago. And we were talking about the Dyatlov Pass. Do you remember that? Remember the strange incident where all the people on the mountain, and they said they'd come up with a new theory about the Dyatlov Pass, and it was some slab avalanche that didn't make any sense, because how does an avalanche, like, take your clothes off, and all the weird stuff that happened in the main Dyatlov Pass incident. But check this out. Tourists go missing while visiting the Dyatlov Pass. Comes from the 12th of February, one of my favourite websites, Unexplained Mysteries. Like I say, I haven't read this, folks, okay? So it says a tour group who has been visiting the site of the 1959 incident were reported missing on Wednesday. Now, according to reports, the group, which consisted of 8 hikers from Moscow, all of which unregistered, is that a bad thing in Russia? Obviously, if they're noting it, had gone on an expedition to the Dyatlov Pass region earlier in the week and had been due to return on Wednesday, but didn't show up, prompting concerns for their well-being. Now, they were supposed to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 8 o'clock this morning, a local source said at the time, but they have not returned yet and there is no contact with them. It is believed that the goal of the expedition was to pay respect to the 9 students who lost their lives under mysterious circumstances during a trek in the Ural Mountains in 1959. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the ill-fated group had departed on January 23rd of 1959. Now, when rescue teams went to look for them, they found the group's tent, which appeared to have been sliced open from the inside with a sharp instrument, on the slopes of Mount Kolot, Syakhl. The hikers' belongings were all strewn around the campsite, and the trail of footprints indicated they had got up and left in a hurry, some of them without any shoes or socks on. Now, after following the trail for 1.5 kilometres, the rescuers discovered 5 bodies, many exhibiting signs of physical trauma, such as a crack to the skull and broken ribs. Theories about what happened to them have continued to this present day, and with any luck, however, such a fate will not befall this latest group to go missing. Now, as an update, it has since been reported that the group of 8 hikers did successfully return from their expedition around 12 hours late. Hey! Navigational issues and bad weather were to blame for the delay, and their communications equipment had also broken, thus preventing them from making contact. I've got another theory. Do you want to hear my little theory? I think back in the 50s, when the original Dyatlov Pass thing was happening, it was always rumoured, or I've seen it rumoured, that there's military type training areas in the region. We could be talking about Spetsnaz out there, something like that. Some sneaky beaky military stuff going on. Who knows? But if that was in any way to do with what happened back in 59, what if the same group had wandered into some restricted zone again and were held for 12 hours? They were held for 12 hours with no communications kit. I think that part of the Ural Mountains, I think the Russian military are very, very active there. Doing what? I don't know. And I could be a million miles away from the truth, and it could be exactly like they told us there. It could just be they got lost, you know, something went wrong and they were 12 hours late. I do find it interesting that they went to the same location that the Dyatlov Pass incident happened on. But hey, I'm just some dauber sitting in a room in Glasgow. What the hell would I know? What do you think out there? Tell me what you think. Nothing to see here? Military woo. Yeti. Sasquatch. Aliens. what's going on at the Dyatlov Pass, people. I see more Ron in the chat room now. Big up to you, more. Good to see you, man. Regla, see you as well. Yep, I see you. Leslie, how you doing, Leslie? If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Lewis, I see you. Maybe it's a Stargate. I like that idea. You know I like that idea, don't you? Because, you know, I've got a thing with mountains, right? I don't know if it's a thing or not, but I do think that there's something to do with when you get large quantities of rock and stuff like that together, like mountains, funnily enough. We know the Paleo-Americans, like NASA has told us many times, some of the mountains are literally, they're very special indeed. They are regarded as being stargates, where people, our brothers and sisters from the sky, come down, and where we sometimes go off up into the sky. Now, do I know for sure that mountains can act as natural stargates? Obviously not. But it's something that seems to come up time and time again. And then you look at some of the ancient monuments, and the monuments are beautiful to look at, and they're great to kind of talk about. But I sometimes wonder if we're anywhere near the actual truth or the function of some of these buildings and monuments that we look at. And again, I think it's to do with the stone. I think what people like Malaya, when she came on the show, she mentioned going into one of the Mayan temples and receiving a download there. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, it was the Temple of the Jaguar, I think, or the Pyramid of the Jaguar. I had another lady on the show at one point who had gone to Egypt, and when she put her hand on one of the bricks, one of the stones at whatever monument she was at, instant download, as if the rock itself, as if that's a store of energy or memory. Or point being, I think there's a lot more going on with these monuments, especially if we take into consideration maybe some of the magical properties of the stone that's been used. And then that makes my mind can't get away from this missing pyramid over in Giza now either. The one that was allegedly made of black stone. Remember we talked about that one before, the Black Pyramid? What was that all about? What was that coated in? And I don't buy that Danish explorer miscounted or decided that 3 pyramids wasn't enough, so you would just add in a random 4th one that looked nothing like the rest. And for anyone who came to check his work would see that he was blatantly lying. It makes no sense. So what was that one? More to the point, where did it go? So yes, high strangeness, much strangeness. And talking of that, I'm going to come into the chat room now and see what people are saying. Cinemonk, almost every ancient culture regard mountains as a place to interact with higher beings. Now you see, Cinemonk, you said it a lot better than me. That's why I've got high hopes for your YouTube channel, brother. I do. I really, really do. Me, I waffle on and make the most of this accent of mine, and everyone's getting a bit tired of that now, right? Hey, Kev, just what if? What if there's a magnetic pole shift happening and the change in magnetics are causing temporary portals to appear? Buzz, that makes perfect sense in my layman's uneducated mind. I absolutely. If our planet has natural stargates, and it's tied into the electromagnetic field and the electromagnetics of the planet, sure, I think you're probably onto something there, dude. But again, can I prove that? Can I tell you for sure you're right? Hell no. Do I think we're worth pursuing it, talking about it? Definitely, man. And this pole shift thing. Suspicious Observers. That's the channel to watch, folks. Even if you don't watch their daily updates, go into their back catalogue, go to their channel, and watch some of the playlists that they've got on the cataclysm cycle that unfortunately, we may actually live through. But there's no doom and gloom here. No, no, no. Turn that frown upside down. Coming back into the chat room. Jimmy Jeans is getting ready. Look at him. I can almost hear him yodeling in the background. Yodeling. Probably sounds a bit better than that though, right? Oh. Let's see. Cardigan. I haven't worn a cardigan in many a year. In fact, I don't think I've worn a cardigan since my, I don't know, maybe preschool years. Cardigan would be nice and warm tonight, though. And yes, I have had this top on, but I was going to mention that at the start of the stream. You're probably thinking I'm a right Jake Ball. Baker's had that hooded top on now for 3 days. Well, Kev's been cold for 3 days. This is my nice warm jumper, folks. Gotta keep myself warm, you know. Jimmy Jeans kicking about in there, harvesting some dopamine for himself. I know what you're all about, Jimmy. I know what you're about. I'm only having a laugh, man. Wind pantaloons. I like that. Is that what you call your joggies when you've got like flatulence problems? Wind pantaloons. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the mystery, the enigma that is Jimmy Jeans. He will be on with us today. With us? God almighty, I've even started speaking about me and Dave in the plural. Oh, man. I'm going to have to start identifying as they. You're going to have to start calling me they, right? We all... Yeah, there he is. There he is, man. There he is. Now, can I get... Alan, did you get... Like, when you done your cover songs, did you get a copyright strike or anything, dude? Did you? Obviously not, because we sat and watched them last night. Alan MacGyver in the chat room. MacGyver. What a singer, folks. What a singer. I'm going to pull up his channel. I'm going to drop a link to it so you can subscribe over there. Give me 2 seconds. Aye, MacGyver, you made a bit of an impression on me, big man. I love meeting people that are talented. I just do. I love it. And you, my friend, woof, you blew us away last night, that's for sure. There we go. There's Alan's channel there. I'll post a link into the chat rooms right now. There we go. So, I think I'll play one. I think I'll play a little minute of one of these. I like that one. Well, I'll have a little bit of music before we go today, folks. A little bit of music from one of our own. He'll probably be all embarrassed. He's in the chat room right now. I better turn off that music, eh?
Sail away with me, honey. I put my heart in your hands. Sail away with me, honey. Now.
Awesome, dude.
Sail away with me. What will be with me? I wanna hold you now.
Folks, I'm going to be over on the main channel real soon. Well, tfrlive.com. We'll be on Disco. I'm going to leave you with Alan to sing us out today. Thank you very much, brother.
In my face, and everything I held so deep disappeared without a trace. All the times that I've tasted love, never knew quite what I had. trying to find some explanation here for the way.
Remember, join us all on the main KBS today. Jimmy Jeans is going to raise the bar. We're going mystery history. Keep it real, folks. I love each and every one of you.
Sail away with me, honey. I put my heart in your hands. Sail away with me, honey, now.
So remember to sub to Alan, sub to Jason, First Paranormal, sub to Polly, sub to anyone. Anyone that's got a link, shove it in there, folks.
You now. Sail away with me, honey. I put my heart in your hands. Sail away with me, honey, now. Sail away with me. What will be, will be. I wanna hold you now. Sail away with me, honey. I put my heart in your hands. You tear me up and you pull it down. Whoa, sail away with me. What will be, will be. I wanna hold you now.
That is definitely the song on the boat to Speculation Island, folks.